I'll either have it exactly how I want it, or I won't have it at all. A type of thinking that has both helped me achieve excellence and also made me feel anxious, exhausted, and hopeless. The all-or-nothing approach is a way of thinking where you view the world in extremes. You might love words such as never, always, everything, and see people and events in absolute terms. I can't work out 5 times a week, and there's no point in going to the gym once a week. That's basically all-or-nothing thinking. But why do people do this? Yes, working out 5 times a week versus 1 time a week is way better for your health. But any logical adult knows that 1 is not 0. 5 times a 0 is still a 0, while 5 times 1 is 5. There is more progress in consistency rather than quantity. So how do we break this? How do we reprogram our mind to see the positive, to be more compassionate to ourselves? And ultimately, how do we learn that in between the all or nothing is a life that can be lived beautifully? Hi everyone! In case you're new here, my name is Ylva, and on this channel I talk about everything that is on my heart and my mind. So today we're talking about the all or nothing approach. I want to give you 2 don'ts and 3 do's that you can take with you whenever, wherever, and especially in those situations where you feel like you're starting to think in extremes. So it's no secret, but maybe I don't talk about it that much. I love creating videos. It's what I want to do. It is my future and I love it, and I'm gonna start saying it more loudly and strongly because I just feel like you need to own your dreams and your aspirations. But I gotta tell you that I don't do these videos as much as I would personally prefer. And for a long time, I thought, well, if I can't do them as frequent as I want to, then there's no point in doing them at all. And the little math I did at the start, like 0 times 5 is still 0, 5 times 1 is 5, that is true. And it took me time to realize that. But this week I felt very low. I felt like I can squeeze YouTube in if I want to have a proper rest and I want to go to the gym and I want to see my friends and I have a full-time work. So just a disclaimer for any of those people who have a full-time job and find time to actually do their dream, what they want to do, I bow to you. I think it is very hard and I think that's amazing. But to go back to my example about the gym, if you only have a little bit of time to work out, use that time. It is not 0. Little or a little bit or just a few is not 0, and it adds up. I actually had a very interesting conversation with someone past like this last week, and we actually were talking about like working out, and I mentioned that if someone doesn't have time to, you know, run that much, they can just spend like 10 minutes on a treadmill. And that person actually answered like, what do you mean? There's no point. And that's when I realized how many of us really do believe that if you can't reach a certain standard or a certain kind of ideal time, or you can't devote that much time, then there's no point. I want to change that. I know that I'm part of the problem, but I want to change that. I feel like we should all do just how much we can. We're all human. I feel like we keep forgetting so often that we are alive. We're live human beings with emotions. We go through so much stuff, and you can't always plan your life perfectly. Although believe me when I say how much I would want that. I came to a conclusion that yes, currently in my life, I can't produce quality content once a week. It is not doable with the fact that I am human, not a robot. But I will produce it as often as I can. I won't even focus on quantity, I will focus on quality, and I will do what I can with the time that I have. And also remember that I am very privileged with the time I have. There are so many people on this world who have way less time, I'm sure, who work maybe 2 jobs or 3 jobs, and they can't even think about pursuing their dream. And maybe I'm getting a little bit emotional when I'm saying this, but this is the type of thoughts that you need to keep in your head whenever you have this all or nothing approach. So since I'm a big talker, let's continue this, but with the tips. It is so easy to be mean to yourself. I talk about this a lot because I think it really is. It's so easy to find faults and things that don't fit. And even in our daily lives, we're sometimes so quick to point out to our family members or our boyfriends, girlfriends, what they're doing wrong. And we forget to just compliment or say thank you for just the little things or what is good or what is nice. When you're down and when you feel like, it's all or nothing, and currently maybe it's nothing and you're a failure and everything is going bad, and you start to talk like this, it just starts to pile up. First negative thought comes in, the second negative thought comes in, and before you know it, you're sad, you're anxious, and just life seems horrible. So that's my first step. When you find yourself in these situations where you feel like this kind of thinking might come to you, like you can do what you want, so it's nothing and you're a failure and everything, switch your mindset away. Don't dwell and don't use that self-deprecating language. The second don't is don't use extreme terms such as never, nothing, no one. This can be very self-isolating. Let me give you an example. A very popular one that people often use is no one feels like me. No one understands me. No one will ever be in my shoes. No one has a dream like me, and so on and so forth. The same goes with nothing and never, saying things like I never will or I will never have. That's just negative thoughts in itself. But again, you're putting yourself in that very extreme mindset. If you, by the way, in some ways love this approach, my goal with what I'm giving to you is just to point out that if you can control it, it can benefit you, sure. But if you don't control it, it can consume you and it can make you feel even worse. So those were my 2 don'ts. Let's jump into the last part, which is the 3 do's and things I want you to take away with you and just start seeing life more easily. Same thing that I just mentioned, how I started to think about there are way more people with worse situation than I have, or I have this and that, or I have wonderful friends and wonderful family. And okay, I can only, let's say, work out 10 minutes, a week. Let's say that's your situation. I can only work out 10 minutes a week, but that's amazing that it's so little and I'm still doing it. I'm not saying oh, it's not worth it. I'm doing it. That's the great thing about positivity that I've always loved. You can make it up. It doesn't even, you can be positive about things that maybe on the outside is neutral. It shouldn't be anything positive, but you give meaning to it. Whatever your situation is. Maybe it's career-based, because that's, I think, a popular thing my age. It's you feel like it's, you're a failure or you're nowhere where you want to be. Find positives in your current situation. I promise you that a lot of ideas and great things come when you live in a positive mindset. Not to mention the fact that world opens up and comes to you. By the way, side note, I just want to say that every time I want to do this, I remember my sister. My sister pointed out last week that when I talk in videos, I do this when I talk, and now I think about her all the time when I want to do this. So, hi sister, if you're watching this, this is for you. The second do is choose consistency over quantity. This will help you so much. When the black or white thinking comes in, the all or nothing thinking comes in, it's either this or that, and you're thinking in very much extremes and numbers and counting and all of that, right? Because it's like you're measuring things. When you choose consistency over quantity, you're more focused on just building a certain lifestyle. Whether that's consistently thinking positively, consistently working out, consistently producing videos, consistently meeting friends, consistently painting, drawing, singing, dancing. You're building a lifestyle, and it does not matter if those are 10 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour a week, an hour a month. It's consistency, and it adds up. Everything adds up. Just try to refocus your mind. That's what I'm doing, by the way, with this video as well. I'm trying to focus on just being inspired and motivated and creating stuff frequently. And on top of consistency, I'm personally adding quality, and so quantity doesn't even come into play. It's just not possible in my life right now, so I choose consistency and quality, and I don't care about the quantity. And I think this could also be applied to so many things. As I said again, the workout, I think that's also very good. By the way, I can actually give from my life an example as well. I'm currently going to the gym only twice a week, which for me was hard at the time, because if you watched my very old videos, I used to work out every single day. And now, because of how much my life has changed and how much I work and how much I've prioritized meeting people and doing so many other things, that's currently what I can squeeze in. I can go to gym twice a week. And this is not for you to compare. It doesn't matter what you think, if this is a lot or a little. This is just to give you an example that if I would have gone into the gym thing with a mindset, oh, well, I can't do what I did, which was 5 to 7 times a week, so I'm not gonna do it at all, it would be so silly. So create your life the way you can do it, and just remember about consistency, and don't focus on quantity or length, focus on consistency. While I'm saying this to you, I'm saying this to myself, because I love to say that, you know, if I do something little or not enough, I love to say it's nothing, and we do this all the time. We downplay so many aspects of our lives, and this is why, look at the sun, it's so pretty. Sorry. And this is why this is my last do. Little adds up, it all adds up. I'm gonna bring you back to the math example. I know. Why didn't I choose to be a math teacher? Like, I'm so good at explaining it. It really is like you add up 1 several times, and it comes up to 5 or 10 or 15 and 20, but 0 never adds up. It stays a 0, and that's why I love this example, because whenever you're in doubt and you feel like it's all or nothing and you feel like it doesn't matter, remember this, it all adds up. And you combine that with consistency, you know, doing a little bit, but being consistent, and then finding positives in every situation, and you got yourself a recipe for a happy life, my friend. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. If you like my content or my energy, or whatever, subscribe, like, comment, and yeah, have an amazing week wherever you are, and I wish you all the best, and bye.